Hello, it's me. Today I'll be recording camera techniques, discussing about camera techniques. For this presentation I'll be talking about camera shots, angles and movements, which are used for creating an effect of the mood of the film through the use of a camera. I'll show examples like videos that demonstrate these type of shots, these elements of things. I didn't get down to recording movements due to the fact I had lots of work to do, as well as me not finishing the other bits. And plus I was worried that it might take forever and I might bore you to death talking about this. Camera shots. These are shot sizes from extreme long shots, extreme close. The camera is getting closer, 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 closer each time. You see, demonstrates different sizes of the frame. The close-up is one of the most used camera shots in the film, and it's used for seeing pointing the camera to the subject through close range, which is so the details are easy to see. There are medium and extreme close-ups, as here demonstrated here. So here's an example of a close-up. I wouldn't call it a typical close-up, to be fair, but it is a close-up nonetheless.
Maybe you'll even decide whether or not you care to return.
I can answer that right now, sir. That'd be no for me.
Sit down, Johnson.
Thank you, sir.
So this is just an example of a close-up. I wouldn't call it a typical close-up, but it is a close-up nonetheless, because it's showing, demonstrating his body. You get to see his face and how he's feeling. For example, that teacher doesn't seem impressed. The student, he seems nervous, but he does ask the question anyway. And I feel it was very good that it's demonstrating what a close-up really looks like. It doesn't have to be towards the face, but it is close-up. You get to see him and his frame and see the camera basically blurs the background out and it focuses on the student's face, which is what a close-up should look like. A medium shot, known as a mid-shot or waist shot, is a shot of the actor from the waist up. It is used to emphasize the actors and their surroundings by giving them equal presence on screen. So you get to see their body from the waist up, so the upper body only, not the legs and the. And you get to see our hands, so if they're talking, they're using their hands to gesture. They're doing a presentation, gesturing what you're trying to emphasize, how you're explaining that thing. So here's an example. It's a very good example that I found on YouTube of what a medium shot looks like. So it demonstrates this girl, she's standing by the door. She's supposed to smile towards camera. It's like a profile shot. So you use profile shots so you get to understand a person and their surrounding. You get to know who that person is. A wide shot, known as a long shot or full shot, is a shot used to show the subject and their surrounding environment. A wide shot can tell the audience who's in the scene, locations, and the time the scene takes place. So here's an example. Let's say I'm in the forest, or somebody else is in the forest. A woman's in the forest. It's raining. She has a bag and she's wearing a raincoat. And it's humid. She's sweating like mad, like crazy. She's walking and she's in the woods, and it's very isolated area, but it's very warm and it's very wet. It's like a monsoon type season. You get to see it, her surrounding and the forest. So here's an extreme wide shot of the film, good, the bad and the ugly. So you see two men walking up to this man with the horse. And it looks very hot, very isolated area. There's not really that many people around. And you see the dust, and it's very windy and dusty. So it's very dry. So it looks like there's no crops or anything there. It's like dry. Very dry location, very sandy. A two shot is two when the camera encompasses two people in a single frame. The subjects don't need to be next to each other because there's more than one way you can create a two shot in a film. Like, let's say if you are waiting at the bus stop and you see an old woman or old man sitting down, and you are sitting where they're sitting on the same bench. There's a two shot of you and that person. When the camera decides to pull out and see both of you in the same shot, you could be back to back or so on and so forth. And there are many which have subjects. One subject in the foreground, the other subject in the background. So here is an example of a medium two shot.
Hey!
What are you doing?
Killing time, really.
Wow.
I'm supposed to be at the radio station later.
For like an interview or what? What?
I really hope not. Kyle's been just asking me to come by. I hope it's just a visit.
Yeah, because you're not really good at those interviews, are you? I mean, you don't like them. Sorry. You don't like them.
No, I really...
You're good at them, though.
I really don't like them. So what about you? Are you down at the studio, or...?
Yeah, I just kind of, rushed him out, finished early, because I kind of wanted... I was anxious to see you. So, here I am.
Good. I'm glad. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
You know, I feel really bad about just popping in the other day during your lesson. I know you were busy, but I was passing by, and I just
Got this undeniable urge.
It's just demonstrating. It's just demonstrating two people in a frame, man and a woman talking. They saying hi, no time, no see. It's just two people in a frame, but it would be more effective if there's an over-the-shoulder shot, so you could see their reactions when they talk to one another. Which I would personally thought it would be a great idea to encompass it. So, an over-the-shoulder shot is a shot in film and television, and the camera is placed above the shoulder of the actor. It is normally used for conversations between characters which go back and forth. So, let's say I'm talking to someone, like a friend, and we're just talking about our day. How has your day been? She said it's fine. Now I start talking to her, interacting. It's good to interact with your peers. Like, this shot didn't have that effect. You could still demonstrate it even though the characters are not sitting down. Like this shot, I think it's used very well. Demonstrates characters' emotions, how the character is feeling about that person. If they're behaving very suspiciously, if they're feeling very vulnerable or very sad and angry.
Don't get any rain up here. What way would that be? I seen he was from Dallas. Well, this is of yours. Where I'm from. Friendo. I didn't mean nothing by it. Didn't mean nothing. Just passing the time. If you don't want to accept that, I don't know what else I can do for you. Be something else. I don't know. Will there? Is something wrong? What? With anything?
You see two men, they're just interacting with one another. They're just seemingly engaged in conversation, but not really engaged, but like in a more tentative way. Like one of them doesn't seem to feel the other one is acting in a normal way. He's behaving very suspiciously, very like he has a plan up his sleeve. Like the shopkeeper looks concerned about the character he's serving, the man he's serving at the till. The point of view, so this does demonstrate well what POV is, his point of view and what he's looking at while he's talking to him. You know he's talking to him because the camera points at him. Which the other one, you know he's pointing, you can know he's talking. You can still get that effect if you see reactions of the person's face. A point of view, also known as first person or subjective camera, indicates what a character is looking at being represented through the camera. So you get to see what the character's looking at. If the character's looking at another person, a man sees two people kissing, his girlfriend's kissing another man, he's feeling upset or whatever. You get to see it through his eyes. You don't have to always point at the person. You get to see like a camera point of view. Like I used it in my first short film that I directed. The Dilemma is the name of the film that I've done through a college project. You get to see what the character is feeling. You see this, so it's a POV shot of the person spying on his daughter, the father spying on his daughter, which I chose that shot because it does emphasize the person doesn't need to be in the scene. You can still see it, that he's in, you can sense that he's in the scene, so I would say it's a good choice that I used. People liked it, they thought it was a good shot, so I decided to use it. And a director called Alfred Hitchcock, you know him, everybody knows who he is. All filmmakers talk about him. He uses a lot of POV shots in his films to emphasize suspense, to create tension, drama, whatever. And it can change the mood. It can signify that something bad's going to happen or something is going to happen. Let's just see. So this is a POV shot. It's very good for getting a sense of the suspense of the characters. You get to see who's walking in, who's by what they're reading and so on and so forth, who they're looking at. Like in Rear Window, is a film predominantly using lots of POV shots constantly because the man is stuck in one location and he's looking through the balcony window. He sees this guy. This guy suspects that he's been watching him all this time. You know, I'm not going to spoil the film, but I already have. I think it's a good film to watch if you want to create a POV shot, if you want to learn how to do that. Establishing shot is a shot camera technique which also is known as a very wide shot and is used for context the scene by establishing the relationship between location and subject figures. Like, let's say the forest example again. It's raining and there's a forest. There's lots of trees and surroundings and there's a river. There's lots of trees and you see the woman, why she's in that forest. You need to know the reason why they're in there. What's the point of it happening? So here is an example of an establishing shot.
Timing's perfect. Hey, 5 new contracts. Looks great.
Storm and Norman's making his weekly inspection. Spent half of it on the phone.
So you see shots from Spider-Man, from one of the Spider-Man franchises, that you see the location of the city is very busy. There's lots of cars, and you see his tall building. He's inside that tall building, so you get to sense where he is. The cutaway, I think, is like the established shot because it does get overlooked. Is a shot which basically says what it says, cuts away from the action, and it can add new information, or it can return to it by returning to its original shot to give it new meaning. There's no restriction on geographical requirements. It can be used anywhere in the scene. You don't need any restrictions on that. So here is one, creates a new meaning in this film.
What idiot?
So he's walking in, he's on a computer, you think he's doing work, something bursts in, it's like a sudden reaction. Suddenly he walks in, bursts in, and he was thinking there's a new, you didn't think he would say something now. It's like a very unexpected, it's like a surprise basically. Very surprised. Camera angles, there's different camera angles, like low angle, eye level, which is commonly used in many films. There's a high angle, worm's eye view is canted, which is known as a tilt and Dutch shot. And there's a bird's eye view. Eye level is when a shot, the camera is positioned through the camera's human's eyes. So it's like the humans actually observing that scene. So the actors' heads it's like an eye level shot of the person looking towards camera. They're talking to that camera. Is that breaking the fourth wall type of thing? Here's an example I found. It's not a great example, but this is the best I can find. So this is just an eye level shot of this boy looking towards camera. Low angle is positioned low on the vertical axis, anywhere below eye level, looking upwards. it can sometimes be at the subject's feet, and it can show the viewer that the character is more superior than the people that are around him, or can make them seem dominant, like they're the one we're supposed to be looking to, make them seem more like a leader or something. So this director, Tarantino, uses a lot of it, and this is just a montage of it.
Piece of work, my friend.
Alright. I'll tell him I'm going in the truck to show him the goods. Now open the trunk, you pop up, wrap this motherfucker.
Piece of work, my friend. Ain't a bad idea. Let's get him the fuck out of here.
They should have fucking shotguns.
See this motherfucker. Hey, you said 10 minutes.
Wakey, wakey.
So this is used in Tarantino mainly uses it to find out what the character was inside the box. It's like a Pandora's box, and you want to know what's inside it. They're all opening up something. They're saying let's do this. They're working together. There's two people. They're saying they're working together. They're saying let's do this. Let's make this person suffer and all of that stuff. Because Tarantino is known for being violent in his films, using violence in his films. A high angle shot is a camera angle which is positioned above the character's head. High angle shots show that the subject is vulnerable and powerless, which creates their mood. So it's the opposite to a low angle, basically. And this is an example.
It was illegal to enter someone's home without their permission.
Sir.
Stand up straight, come again.
So this is an example of a camera shot. It's a high angle, and shows that Miss Trunchbull, the head mistress in this film, is far more superior than the students. And it does show the students at a high angle shot because they're more vulnerable. They're much smaller than her. She's the adult and they're the children. So children are meant to respect adults. But she's quite abusive in the film, but which I'm not going. If you haven't seen it, you must watch Matilda. It's very good. A Dutch angle shot, which is known as a Dutch tilt, is a camera shot which involves the setting of the camera at an angle by rolling it on its axis. The shot is composed with vertical lines at an angle to the side of the frame, or so horizontal line not being parallel with the bottom of the camera frame. So basically it's used in many horror films and psychological thrillers to create like a state of confusion, state of uneasiness, so on. And it makes it more scary and creepy. Like something it's doing, something bad is about to happen, something sinister is about to happen. Let's try and watch this. This is an example from Mission Impossible.
Kittredge, you've never seen me very upset. All right, Hunt. Enough is enough. You have bribed, cajoled, and killed, and you have done it using loyalties on the inside. You want to shake hands with the devil, that's fine with me. I just want to make sure that you do it in hell.
This demonstrates two characters being very tense with one another. They don't get along. They're very angry whenever one of them wants to get revenge on the other, or one of them wants to catch the other out, snuff him out for something bad he's doing, which creates more tension and more. When he talks quickly, he creates tension. So something like an explosion is about to happen. So a bird's eye view is a shot which an observer is in the position of a bird looking down at the location they're in, e.g. buildings, towers, skyscrapers. So you see in a lot of films that are based in a city or something. Means it's like a high angle shot to demonstrate the vulnerability of a person. Here's one here. And this is a very good, it's a very active scene. There's lots going on. Let's see.
Community out here in the North Bay. Unlike in the city where you have Satanists running around. Well, you bring up a good question. Is the Zodiac a Satanist? Amber from Oakland, what do you think?
I don't really know, but I just know that the code that they printed didn't look very Christian. But I think a bigger problem is that the paper shouldn't have printed anything with the Zodiac as the donut, because they're just printing all that stuff to sell more newspapers.
Well, the Zodiac did demand they print his letters or he'd kill more.
So basically, this is a shot of the car driving along the city. And you see this car driving. You're following this car. This car's doing something. This guy is very active. Seems like a car chase in a way. So you get the sense of what this character's really up to. You're watching him. We're watching him through the camera. Camera's lens. So. And another thing. Another shot. View. Worm's eye view is a view of an object from below, which is similar to a high angle and is opposite to a bird's eye view, which shows dominance, but it shows that the person looks bigger, makes the person look seem larger in the frame. An example that I found, like, it happens in nature films, so you get to see nature because most animals are very small or have 4 legs, and we have 2 legs, but there's a hidden camera, and there's lots of nature documentaries that demonstrate this. So basically, this is saying that we get to see how the animals live. We get to see what they're doing and how they're interacting with around their space, how they're behaving and in that environment or around each other when they interact. So I would say that it's a very good shot of worm's eyes view. So I hope you enjoy and you learn a lot. And this is just part 1 of 2 because camera movements I will have to discuss in the next video. I hope you enjoy watching this and hope you gain and learn to learn through all the basic shots so you know how to apply them when you use it in your films. Now I'm great, the best filmmaker I can be. Enjoy this video. You click on the like button if you like the video and subscribe for more of the latest videos. Thank you.